Today's Just Listen selection is an article from Reader's Digest by Scott Janssen. In a Reader's Ghost Story, a World War II veteran had a mysterious visitor who showed up at his bedside with a clear and comforting message. A Soldier's Ghost Story. For months, as I visited Evan as his hospice social worker, he had been praying to die. He's in his 90s, and he's been fighting cancer for more than 4 years. As he sees it, his life has turned into a tedious, meaningless dirge with nothing to look forward to other than the end. On this visit, though, he's engaged and upbeat. The sudden about-face arouses my suspicions. "You seem to feel differently today," I said casually. "What's going on?" He looks at me cryptically. "Do you believe in ghosts?" he asks. It's not the first time a patient has asked me this. People can have unusual experiences when they reach the end of life. Visitations from spiritual beings, messages delivered in dreams, synchronicities, or strange behaviors of animals, birds, even insects. "There are all kinds of ghosts," I responded seriously. "What kind are you talking about?" "You remember me telling you about the war?" he asks. How could I forget? He traced his long-standing depression to his time as a supply officer in a World War II combat hospital. I remember. "There's something I left out," he says, "something I can't explain." He goes on to describe one horrific ice-cold autumn day. Casualties were coming in nonstop. He and others scrambled to transport blood-soaked men on stretchers to triage. I'd been hustling all day. My back felt broken. My hands were numb from the cold. He grimaces and swallows hard. We were hauling one guy, and my grip on the stretcher slipped. Tears rolled down his face. When he hit the ground, his intestines oozed out. Steam rose up from them as he died. Evan rubs his hands as though they were still cold. Later that night, I was on my cot crying. Couldn't stop crying about that poor guy and all the others I'd seen die. My cot was creaking. I was shaking so hard. I'd nod, waiting for him to continue. Then I looked up, he says, saw a guy sitting on the end of my cot. He was wearing a World War I uniform with one of those funny helmets. Evan starts crying and laughing at the same time. He was looking at me with love. I could feel it. I never felt that kind of love before. What was it like? He pauses. I guess I just felt like all the pain and cruelty wasn't what was real. What was real? Knowing that no matter how cruel the world looks on some level, somehow we are all loved. We are all connected. This turned out to be the first of several paranormal visits. Each time the specter arrived, he would wordlessly express love and leave Evan with a sense of peace and calm. After the war, the visit stopped, he said. Years later, I was cleaning out Mom's stuff after she died, and I found an old photograph. It was the same guy. I looked on the back, and Mom had written the words, Uncle Calvin, killed during World War I, 1918. We talked some more, and then I asked, what does this have to do with your being in better mood? He's back, he whispers. Saw him last night at the foot of my bed. He spoke to me this time. What'd he say? He told me he's going to help me over the hill when the time to go. As I'm formulating more questions, Evan surprises me by asking one of his own. You ever have something strange happen? Something that tells you that no matter how bad it looks, you're connected to something bigger? A memory from 35 years ago flashes into my mind. I was asleep in a graduate student apartment at Syracuse University. A siren's blare woke me. I sat up, adrenaline pumping, heart pounding like a hammer. From outside, I distinctly heard someone say, "Bring it here quick." Then I heard the gurney being rolled across asphalt. I went to the window and pulled back the curtain, certain there was no trouble outside. No one was there. Just before daybreak, Dad called to tell me that a few hours earlier, my Uncle Eddie had been killed in an automobile collision. On the kitchen table sat a beat-up radio. It suddenly switched itself on, and I heard the opening chords of the Beatles song, "Let It Be." I'd never listened closely to the song before, but this time I did. The music and the words filled me with almost otherworldly sense of peace and comfort. For years I tried to explain away those events. Inside, though, a part of me knew they were real. After nearly 30 years as a hospice social worker, I'm certain of it, and I have patients like Evan to thank. Dying patients who have convinced me that the world we inhabit is lovingly mysterious and eager to support us, especially during times of crisis. I return to the present. Evan is looking at me, waiting for an answer to his question about connecting with something strange, something bigger. Outside, a flock of crows takes off, in unison from the branches of an ancient oak. "Yeah," I say with a nod, "I guess I have." This is a song referenced by the narrator of the story. The lyrics are simple but impactful. Let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, yeah, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Ah, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Paul McCartney of the Beatles wrote this song. It was inspired by his mother, who died when he was 14. It makes a positive statement to leave your problems behind and move on with your life. Hopefully you enjoyed this selection. Watch for re-airings of this and future selections in the circular. And remember, just listen.